Welcome to Ultimate Survival Gear. Today, as you guys can see, I have yet again something from ECCO. Actually, haven't had anything from ECCO in a while, so I'm glad finally something came along, and these are actually the brand new ECCO. Check this out. MX, yes, mid-size hiking boot, waterproof, and not just any kind of regular waterproofing. This is GORE-TEX waterproofing. Yes, fancy. Looks great. Before I start the review, if you don't have time to watch the whole review, if you're in a rush to go somewhere and prepare because the whole world is going to hell, I don't blame you at all, even though I do recommend you watch the whole review because this is the boot for your survival. Maybe, possibly, we'll find out. But if you don't have time to watch the whole review, I just wanted to tell you, these do run a little bit on the bigger size, which is kind of rare. Most of the times I recommend getting the size bigger. In this, I would probably recommend you buying this in half a size smaller. Maybe even the whole size smaller, but start with a half a size smaller than your normal shoe size. That's really the only thing that I wanted to kind of warn you. Everything else you will find out in the rest of the review. But let's get into the main review. So, like I said, this is not just a regular review. This review is specifically for my Ultimate Survival boots section. And I mean, whenever I started doing this like 3 years ago, people were like, whatever this guy's doing, whatever. But now, more and more people are realizing that, you know what? This guy has a point. You need to be prepared. You need to have gear. You need to have, listen, even if we don't see anything bad happen in our generation, hey, still it is better to be prepared than not prepared. You can pass along these to your children in the worst case scenario, right? If you don't see any action. But imagine if you did see some kind of action. Well, I mean, people in Ukraine today, they are seeing a lot of action, all right? And this is really getting serious. This is no longer a joke, honestly, if I'm completely straight with you. So imagine the situation where this is the shoe wear that you have, and you are surviving, and you have rockets exploding here and there, you have tanks running over cars, you have this madness going on around you, and this is the boot that you are wearing. Would you be satisfied with this boot, or would you wish you had something better? Okay. This is getting a little serious tone. Sorry about that. Sometimes I like to be entertaining, but you know, it's kind of hard seeing everything that is happening around the world. Let's start from the very beginning. The very first criteria, of course, would be the comfort level. One of the most important ones. Obviously, in a survival situation, you expect to wear this for extended periods of time. You expect to walk, to run, to even sleep in these boots without taking them off, right? Because you have to be that ready, that prepared. You don't really have a permanent place to stay. You really don't know what is happening. It's hard to predict. So you want to have as comfortable boot as you can. And in order to test the comfort level of all the boots and shoes that I review on the channel, I do a 3-mile run, non-stop, and then a 5-mile walk right after, non-stop, so 8 miles total, and then I continue wearing it for the rest of the day so that the total wear time is 8 hours. No pauses, no taking the boot off, even if it's shoe, whatever it is, whatever I'm reviewing. In order to have the balanced kind of opinion so that I'm not kind of biased here or there. So, let's start with the first factor that contributes to the comfort level. Overall, I like it. There are a few things that I like. There are a few things that I don't like. Let's start with the weight. And this is size 10. And size 10 is 16.4. And I have to tell you guys, this is very, very good. For a mid-size boot, this is excellent. For a mid-size waterproof boot, it's even better, honestly. Now, if you want to understand kind of the weights, the importance of the weight, I always tell people, if you're looking for something lightweight, you want to find something under 20 ounce. The more under 20 ounce you can find, the better. The more over 20 ounce, now you get into that heavyweight territory where you start feeling the fatigue from the weight. Now, of course, if you're gonna go lighter, the light you can go as light as, you can go below 10 ounce. But then of course you start sacrificing protection from the bottom, protection in the toe, in the shaft, right? All of these things you start sacrificing. So it's kind of about the balance. In my experience, the best boots, they always are around the most balanced, the most versatile. They are around 15, 16, 17 ounce range, all right? So this is really, really good. Now let's move on to the flexibility of the outsole. This is another thing that contributes to the comfort level, and here, as you can see, is super flexible. I mean, you can run in these properly without any kind of problems, guys. Without any problems at all, you can run properly in this boots because the outsole is so nice and so flexible. But let's move on into the inner sole, and let's see if the inner sole here is removable. Hopefully it is, so that you can see what's going on. All right, check this out. Not much going on. It is not as stiff as some inner soles. It's more on the flimsy side. There is kind of a heel bed going, but it's hard to tell. But I do like the cushioning. It's extra cushiony. It's more cushiony than most of the stuff out there. So I do like it. I personally prefer extra, and it's throughout the whole inner sole, which is good. Why it is good? For example, if you're running, right? You start running properly. You're not putting any stress on your heels, on your ankles, on your knees. Pretty good, right? But then you get fatigued after 3. I don't know how good of a runner you are, but let's say after 2 miles, you start getting tired, and now you're putting more and more stress on your heel. That's when this stuff comes into play. That's where the midsole comes into play. Absorbing the impact, all right? Very important. And here is pretty good. So overall, on the comfort level so far, I'm a huge fan. Moving on to the padding, not much in the tongue, still fine. Really pretty much no padding in the shaft, still fine for comfort, but as a protection, which we'll talk about later, it's kind of compromising. Going on throughout the whole boot, it's nice and soft. The toe is very soft. Again, great for comfort, not very good for protection. Okay, so we're done with the comfort level. Overall, I do like it. Overall, on the comfort level, it is definitely pretty good. It's lightweight. It is definitely comfortable. Moving on to the criteria number 2 now, proofing and protection. Like I said, these are waterproof, GORE-TEX waterproofing, fancy waterproofing technology, breathable, lightweight. I mean, ask around people who are more or less serious into hiking, into tactical stuff. They prefer GORE-TEX waterproofing, which I do too. I can't say that it's extremely superior over like some kind of regular waterproofing, but it is definitely lighter. It is better quality for sure. It's more expensive too, though. Keep that in mind. Protection wise, that's where this boot is a little bit lacking. You have decent amount of protection from the bottom, but here the toe is very soft. The shaft, I mean, it's practically non-existent. It's very soft, so not much protection in the shaft. And the heel, even the heel, there isn't really much reinforcement. It is soft, so keep that in mind. Let's move on to the criteria number 3 now, quality and the design features. Quality-wise, ECCO is excellent brand in my experience, and people like ECCO brand. It's European brand. It's good. It really is good. You can tell that the build quality is spot on. And judging by the online reviews, now this particular boot does not have a lot of reviews yet. The Amazon link is in the description below. Check it out. Maybe since I posted this video, there are some more reviews. But on their previous models, people do like the brand ECCO. So, and on my previous review also, I got plenty of positive feedback on the ECCO boots. So check out my previous review as well if if you're interested. Now the design features, here I talk about the lacing system. Not much. 4 pairs of closed hooks, fabric hooks. Hopefully they last. It's hard to tell on how long these last. I'm always kind of skeptical about the regular fabric hooks, even though they definitely contribute to the lightweight, but they add a little bit of kind of like insecurity that one day this is gonna snap. But here at the top, which is great, you have 1 pair of open hooks, which is great for hiking, and it's actually nice and metal. This is definitely, you're not gonna worry about this snapping. Well, hopefully not snapping out of this, but it looks nice and secure over there. Let's move on to the criteria number 4 now, traction and stability. This is another one important, and here we get into some problems. Okay, so whenever I do my walk and my run, I do it on a variety of different surfaces. I start with older asphalt, then go to newer tarmac, dry sand, wet sand, dry grass, wet grass, rocky road, trail surface, concrete, marble tile, rubber, and the rock wall. Okay, this is very slippery. Let's start with that. Very slippery on marble and tile, very slippery on the wet grass. On the sand, it holds pretty good on dry sand, pretty slippery on the wet sand. On the rocky road, there's a little bit of imbalance. On a regular surface like concrete and whatever, asphalt, tarmac, it handles just fine. But as you can see, there is really no aggression here. It looks like they are deep, aggressive grooves, but they are so rounded. It makes it just, I mean, you're gonna slide around, guys. This is one thing where ECCO really messed up, in my opinion. This is not good at all of an outsole. It will handle like on a normal, regular, nothing crazy road, it will be fine. It's comfortable to wear, but if you want versatility on different terrains, I would recommend staying away, because this is not good. And you guys know I am not trying to sell anything. I'm not trying to glamorize anything. If you buy it, you buy it. If you don't buy it, I don't freaking care. I want to give you as honest of a review as possible, and this is bad, completely bad. Now, I'm not gonna mention winter or snow or whatever. Let's move on to the next criterion. Fine, since we're talking about winter, the temperature. So temperature-wise, great in the hot weather, excellent in the hot weather, very nice and breathable. But for cold temperatures, of course, this is not insulated. And even if it was, with this kind of outsole, I would recommend staying away, because you're gonna slide around like a freaking figure skater. Olympics, right? So yes, I would not recommend this in the winter. For hot weather, for regular walks in the park, I don't know, something like that would be nice, but for not for winter for sure. Okay, so done with that, let's move on to the criteria number 6 very quickly. It's the sizing. Like I said, these run a little bit too big. Usually I do recommend getting half a size bigger, because you want to have a little bit of extra space here. Keep in mind, you want to have a little bit of extra space here so that your toe is not touching the front of the toe box. Not good. But here is a little bit too much, okay? So I would recommend starting half a size smaller, and maybe even the whole size smaller. Like in my case, for me, it was a whole size smaller, and it worked. But again, that's why I like buying from Amazon, because you buy it, if it doesn't fit you right, no big deal. You return it, you replace it, no big deal. Done with that, let's move on to the criteria number 7, the important one, the ultimate, the actual, balance, the balance of application. If this really was your ultimate survival boot, right? Would this be good for your survival? Okay, so I think there is a good potential in this. Comfort-wise, it's excellent. It's lightweight, it's very soft, it's very honestly, that would be a pleasure to walk in for extended periods of time, even running if you have to. My only concern with this as ultimate survival boot is that it's not versatile when it comes to different terrains. It's not very friendly on slippery stuff, and I would not, personally, I would definitely not go with this. I would go something, I know ECCO is advertising this as a hiking boot, but even if you're just getting this for hiking, I wouldn't recommend this as for this. The only time I would recommend it is if you want some kind of cool looking boot that you know you're not gonna do anything crazy, you're not gonna variety of terrains, or maybe just for the sand, maybe just for regular roads, pedestrian roads, whatever, however you want to call them, but definitely not anything. I mean, even if on my hike, I would not. This is too dangerous. You can slip and you can fall and you could break something. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. So that kind of to a lot of people, that's going to be a turnoff. And the very last criterion number 8, price. I think that's going to be a major turnoff for a lot of people completely. $150 currently on Amazon. Okay, so $150, I could say yes, it's justifiable if the outsole was versatile and it was good and it was hiking friendly. But with this outsole, this falls short than a lot of boots. I mean, in 150 range, you can get some amazing boots in the 150 range, even cheaper. For $130 you can get yourself, still they are on the market still. Check out the review, I have it on this channel. If you haven't seen the review of my it literally was one of my very first reviews. Salomon X, freaking mouthful, Salomon Ultra 3 Mid X GTX. Alright, there's a lot of freaking stuff in this name. Sorry if I mixed up. But that is so far the best boot, and it's my personal boot. It's my personal ultimate survival boot. Not just hiking boot, not just any kind of boot. It is my go-to ultimate survival boot. It is laying in my freaking closet and waiting for stuff. And if there is something that I'm doing, something where I need to be on the trail, more or less serious, that's what I wear, okay? Again, to some people, you will find a better fitment with something. So that's why I keep doing reviews so that you guys can find what you're looking for. But you know, it's preference, okay? With this boot, however, they really did kind of mess up. So if you're from ECCO, I'm sorry, I don't mean to bash anybody's work. You guys did put work into it, and you really did a good job, except for the outsole part. So if you're watching this video, please address the outsole and maybe do a 2.0, because this boot has a great potential. It's mid-size, it's waterproof, it's freaking super comfortable, it's lightweight. So everything that I personally like in a boot, hiking boot or ultimate survival boot, except the outsole. So that's really the only thing that kind of worries me. The price, like I said, I would say yes, it's okay. 150 bucks, it's expensive, but it's okay if the outsole was great. But with this outsole, it's a little bit So let me know in the comments below, guys, what do you think about this boot? What do you think about this review? If you have any requests, drop them in the comments below. If you found this review useful, please consider subscribing. I still have a big channel that I used to do my boot reviews at, until YouTube decided to ruin half of it. So I had to start a whole new channel, this channel, Ultimate Survival Gear. So as you can see, it's still growing, it still has a lot to go. So please subscribe, it will definitely help. If you want to help me even more, please join the membership, because all the money, it's only $1.99 a month, that's all it is. But this money goes a huge long way, because that is the money, that is the budget that I use to bring in the new reviews to this channel. So I would really appreciate if you could help me out. And thank you very much, guys, for watching all the time. It really means a lot to me that you are tuning in and you are watching these videos. So hopefully I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.